So we're doing a tour of the indoor greenhouse, and this guy is definitely a lot warmer than the one outside because I keep it nice and warm in here just in general because I'm always here. But also the lighting itself keeps it around 80 most of the time. Every now and then it'll get up to 90, and the lowest it ever gets 70. But really it's just been heated by the light bulbs. And so originally I only had the LEDs up here, and I thought it would be bright enough, but it's been years since I started seats indoors like this in a little greenhouse, so I had to adjust. So I added this guy over here. So he's an extra light bulb. And then this one over here. So the LEDs plus that one. And then I have a shop light down here because down here I didn't have any lights. And then I also have a ring light pointed at them. So that's a lot of plugs. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be upgrading to some garage shop lights. So yeah, so I need to order that. But in the meantime, this is what it is. And so I have basically my tomatoes up here on the top. And all of these guys were really old seeds, but they germinated just fine. And I started the method the way Bubble Beet does it, but then I got sick right as I was as the seeds were starting to sprout. So I didn't get to pull them out and transplant them in here when I wanted to. So these are pretty much just, by the time I pulled them out, they were like a little soggy. I don't know. They didn't look great, and they were all crooked, twisted. So some of them are, if you notice, they're growing slightly crooked, but then they're adjusting, so they're starting to follow the light. So that's cool. Some of them are a little leggy, so I still think I need more light, which is why I'm getting the other ones. But some of them are fine. You know, so different varieties are responding differently. But yeah, so I have the large cherry tomatoes. The seeds were from 2013, so I'm surprised that they're still going, but well, not really surprised, but you know, but I'm pleasantly surprised. There we go. And look at this, they're starting to grow their true leaves. So I actually just started fertilizing them yesterday. So I did what Bumblebee does. So I did the fish fertilizer, the 511. And so hopefully that won't burn anything. But instead of doing one tomato per little pot, I'm actually doing two whenever possible, just because I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. And I think I may have broken a couple roots. So I just wanted to make sure I had enough. But they seem to be fine. The small yellow pear tomatoes were actually the first ones to sprout, and they sprouted so many. I actually had to do an overflow one over here just because I felt bad for them. But yeah, everything sprouted, like every single seed. Same thing for the large cherry tomato. The delicious, I actually only have 5 sprouts, and for all of them I was able to do at least 6, if not more. And same thing for the marglove, I believe. Oh, no, not the marglove. Oh, actually, they all came up. Okay, so it was just a delicious. But here we have the Isis Candy cherry tomato. And also getting its true leaves. So they're right on along. They're going to right along where I think they should be. So that's cool. And this is marglove tomato. Same thing. Most of the seeds are so old, but the tomato seeds just didn't have a problem whatsoever germinating. They had such a good germination rate. The peppers, on the other hand, so I only had 5 Fresno peppers, and it seems that only one of them has not come up so far. So that's a pretty good germination rate, but that one was pretty new. Those were pretty new seeds. The Padron pepper was a little bit older, I think just a couple years more. But that guy is taking his sweet time. So there's one. This one is it just sprouted today. And I actually had them in the Ziploc bags before, but while I got sick, they all pretty much just got moldy. It was weird. I don't know. It didn't work out. So I started a new batch here where I actually planted them in the little pots. And I feel like they're taking forever, but it's only because it's the second batch that I'm sowing. But look at that. They're coming up. So we're going to have at least 2 pepperoni peppers, I think. Padron, we have at least 2 so far sprouted. The Fresno, we have 4, so that's, yay, that's a win. And those are pretty much the things here on the top level that require the most heat, and since heat rises, it's always something that I keep in mind. So that's, yeah, so those are the warm weather, super warm weather ones. Oh, overflow from some tomatoes that I didn't have the heart to toss. Okay, and then the jalapenos have not sprouted yet, but those just got planted like a few days ago, so that will be a little while. And then these 2 have not, the Phileas Blue Pepper and the California Wonder, have not come up. But once again, their seeds got really moldy in the baggies. So I had to do a whole new batch. So I'm waiting on those. And I think they'll be fine, but this level is not as warm as the ones up here. So I'm thinking maybe that's why they're just taking a little longer. But I think they'll be fine. And then I just planted the nasturtiums, and I kind of went a little nasturtium happy because I love them. So I have a lot of nasturtiums. I have at least 6 little pots here. And then vincas, I want to make sure I have those as well. So I have 6 in here as well. And then more nasturtiums and more nasturtiums and more nasturtiums, because why not? I have the seeds. Let's use them up. And here's ground cherry, tomatillo, and tomatillo. So those are little tiny pots. So these guys are actually yogurt containers, and this is dog food containers. So, you know, we try and reuse everything. And it actually seems to match because I use white a lot apparently. So, Okay, and then down here are the things that don't need a lot of warmth. These guys would sprout outside anyway, it seems. So there's the mash. It's over there, and the germination rate on those was really good, really good. I have some more mash over here, and this, guys, I couldn't help myself. I just went a little geometric, but I think it's gonna look pretty. And if you look up what the little plants actually look like, it's gonna look, I think it's gonna look very, very cute. So, you know, art. And then here's miner's lettuce. So I have some growing outside, but I want to see what the difference is between starting them indoors versus outdoors. And so far, I haven't seen much of a difference. This guy sprouted super fast, but then they've been there for a little while. And the ones outside, I planted later, but they already sprouted. But they're itty bitty, so we're gonna see how they compare to this. And then chamomile. This, guys, I think I'm just going to take outside. I really want to compare them to see how they do inside versus outside. But the ones outside, I think, are doing well enough that I think they can go. Well, in the greenhouse anyway, at least. And then here is, okay, and then here is the spinach. And I do have some on the outside greenhouse. And so far, the germination rate is about the same. So I think I'm just going to start them in the greenhouse next year. That way I don't use up the space here and I can use them up for other stuff. So like feverfew, look at that. I just planted those. I actually forgot to put the seeds in, and so I put them in today, and today's the 6th. So, so yeah, they'll take a little while. And then more ground cherry. Okay, so I have 4 plants in total. There's 3 down here, and then 1 down here. So I plan on sharing 2 with my mother-in-law. So I think, I don't know if she's tried them before, but they're really good. So I think she'll like them. And then aside from that, I have a tomatillo, another tomatillo, because, well, you know, salsa takes up a lot of tomatoes. And then, oh, small blue wildflowers. These are just some volunteer flowers that came up on a little garden thing that I have outside my window. And yeah, so I want more, and I collected some seeds. But that's pretty much it. So down here I have the slightly cooler crop items and some things that just want to fit up here. Up here we still have some more tomatoes, some more peppers, and flowers. And this space here, I had some marigolds, but because the petals are still in there, I never separated the seeds from the petals. They got moldy, so within like, I don't know, overnight. So those are just gonna have to stay outside because I don't want everything here to get moldy. That would be very bad. And it gets moist in here. It's super humid most of the time. Right now it's pretty dry here, but in the mornings, there's usually like this film of moisture in there. So that's, you know, so it's pretty warm in here and it's pretty humid, which is perfect for the little sprouts, you know? It helps them drop their little seeds, I think. If you like my videos, if you want to follow along, see how these guys grow throughout this growing season, make sure to follow, make sure to get the notifications. You can also follow me on TikTok, and there I upload a little bit more frequently, and it's slightly shorter content, but it's still fun, and most of the time is garden related. So thank you for dropping by and watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!